Hello, everybody. This is 7 Days to Die with Silverblade Dagger. This is episode 5. Um, Technically speaking, this takes place just after I did the whole Kill, Maim, Destroy episode, which was episode 3. And I did a little back checking, and that was quite an adventurous and prosperous, I guess you could say, episode because my kill count is 961. And this takes place just a few hours afterwards, and I haven't killed any zombies since. So 961 kills total, and I figured before we went on the murder spree, I had 692 kills at that point. So I slayed 269 of the undead. So after that episode, I stopped, saved the game, quit, and I've been busy a couple days, so I finally make it back. And when I come back in, all the zombies, because there was a group of them over here, were gone. There's a few bodies left behind, and I think one was a police officer, and I think the best I got off of him was, I think it might have been some ammo and a part to a pistol, so it wasn't too fantastic. Now I know I should have been looting all the bodies, but really that whole episode was just about killing, maiming, and destroying. Didn't say anything about looting bodies. Anyway, in this episode, I am going to finish this area, the outer ring, by swapping out these wooden frames with reinforced concrete. Now, I've already been playing for a few hours, just laying these out. The original pattern that I had shown in an earlier episode, um, it was a great in theory on paper, but putting out in practice it wasn't working for me. So instead, I'm going with this kind of pattern. The outer ring will mostly have like 4x4 or 2x2 rather squares, and then 1x1 squares here. The inner ring, with the exception of corners, will be 1x1 squares or 1x2, however you want to figure that out. But the concept stays the same. They fall in, they get trapped. Easy pickings for ye old sniper rifle. So I've done it all the way around here with wooden frames. Went back and chucked some scrap iron in the forge. Got some bars. Got my gear. Already had one supply drop and picked it up. It really wasn't anything too significant except a better receiver for my sniper rifle, which went from being a great sniper rifle to a flawless one. I think the only thing it needs really to be upgraded is the barrel. So, well, since I patched that up, gotta make sure the gun's loaded, right? And that takes a few seconds before it settles in there. But anyways, I'm gonna cut away and swap out these wood frames for reinforced concrete. And hopefully, when I return, we can start taking away the cofferdam here, let the water flow in, and what water doesn't get in there, we'll chuck it with a bucket. So anyways, I got some work to do off camera. So see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Just taking a little moment to show what I've done so far. Got the rebar in. I got them upgraded with the plywood for the forms. Got some concrete poured, but I ran out. And I don't have really any more rebar frames, so I'm going to have to scavenge around to get more. But it's almost 1800 hours, which would be 6 o'clock, almost dark. And I'm going to lie low for the night. While I was building, I had a few zombies come in, you know, just enough to keep me trigger happy. So right now the kill count's 976, and previously it was 269. So that's 7 zombies I killed, no biggie. Day 22 and 0 deaths. So far so good. Gonna cut away again and ride out the night, go do some scavenging, and get some resources to finish this off. Already got the first level down. Almost time to get the second level down. So, see you in a little bit. Twitch, Twitch. Hello. I'm back. Be very, very quiet. Since the last segment, 4 days have passed. I've got my base built around the base area. And, well, I got some friends. Let's take care of business, right? Whoops. That's what I get for fixing a gun and not reloading. So let's get this done right, huh? Bad Poochie. Reload. So apparently there's a horde here because I can hear the hornet. And fix you. Goodbye, nurse. Goodbye, pretty lady. Alrighty. Come on. Come on. Normally I let these guys just slide by, but I heard them taking a few whacks at the wood frames on the outside, and that is just not cool. And then you got the vomitous police officer, and I don't want his barf to ruin what I've constructed. Now the reason why 4 days have passed since my last segment of this video is because I ran out of resources, and it took me quite a while to gather it all up again. So I've done some raids, loot raids, picked up some supply crates, you know, whatever it took to get things done. I'm videoing this during the day, so if you hear police sirens or bass noise, just cars driving by. Usually I do this late at night when there's nothing going on. Where is that pesky hornet? I could use some honey. Where are you? I must shoot you. Oh, and here's a tip for getting rid of gore blocks that water doesn't wash away. And we can clean that up with that axe or something. Anyways, The ground level is pretty much finished. I just got a few blocks of concrete that need to dry, and shouldn't take too long. It's been drying kind of overnight, but I guess from what I've read, uh, reinforced concrete blocks dry uh, during the day. I guess it's something to do with the sunlight or something. I don't know for sure. But these should be drying soon. Now, the thing to remember is reinforced concrete has some pretty good stats when it comes to the load that it can bear, the horizontal loads. But that's dried reinforced concrete. When they're wet, or when they're just the plywood forms, they don't have that strength yet. So when you're doing builds that extend out a ways, sometimes, especially if it's a long ways, sometimes it might be best to do it like 2 or 3 blocks at a time. Let them dry a block or 2 at a time. Let it dry a block or 2. Let it dry, until you get what you want. Because I've tried in previous builds to build it with just the rebar frames and then put the plywood on it, and it wouldn't work. So when I did it in stages and let the concrete dry, then it was able to work. It didn't fall apart on me. There's still limitations, but at least that'll get you over that one. So let's go and inspect the handiwork. Now, first of all, I've kind of expanded out a deck here and changed the walkway a little bit. Kind of had to do this because it was getting in the way of working down in here. I also had to take out 4 torches from the outer center segments here. So there's just torches on the corners. And I also had to take the torches off these pillars here. The main reasoning for that is, well, it was killing my frame rate. I was getting 4 and 5 and barely even 6 frames per second. And it was becoming such a headache to try to navigate through this, put concrete down and rebar, all that. So I just had to take it out. Now I'm leaving these here because it makes it easier to see, the enemy at the gates, so to speak. I did put some torches way out yonder, around the edges of the lake. I'm thinking of figuring out the due east, due west, due north, due south of the center of my base, and going straight out to the edges of this lake and putting torches there, and kind of doing it in all cardinal directions, plus, the northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. So basically it covers around the edges of the lake, so when the zombies do approach, there will be some lighting for it, so I can kind of see him a little better. Let me see if I can get this guy. I think he's a bit far away and moving too quick. We'll get him. You want to sting me, and I want to shoot him. I just can't keep up with it. And then he does a fake out. Little bastard. Okay, ain't gonna mess with that. So let's clean this up a little bit. Now I find that if you have water that's 2 segments deep, you'll have less chance of the gore blocks piling up on each other. The water is supposed to dissolve it. It's supposed to get rid of the gore blocks, but sometimes, like if it's piled up too much, it won't get to it. But if you have water that's 2 squares deep, they don't tend to stick around quite as much. So, like I said, this is the pretty much finished outer walls, or floor rather, of the base. The main base itself will be standing on these pillars and reside within them. I think it might be safe to just take out the cofferdam and see how we do. And all else fails, I can just drain it and redo it. So let's give this a shot, right? I'm gonna have to redo something for an entrance into the base, but not a big deal. That's the thing I like about this game, is if you mess something up, you can kind of redo it, undo it, whatever. I mean, it gets costly in resources, but it's not like you're stuck forever for the most part. I mean, the only thing that would really be a pain is scrapping a very good weapon or tool. But even then, if you're patient enough, they'll come back. Well, you'll find a new one anyway. Okay, so the outer ring is done. Now I'm going to leave a square in each corner for these torches. I hear somebody. Sounds like, as Midnight Designer would call them, the Kingston Trio. But they're not very musical. Let's get a better perspective here. I know I heard something. There they are. These SOBs will bring in another horde. And right now, their attendance is not welcome. Hopefully they were far enough away that they're not bringing in more zombies, because I really just don't want to deal with them right now. I want to get this video done. I want to get my base done. So now we're taking away this, and just from these sections alone, you can see there's water starting to fill in. Now they're probably not going to go all the way out, and that's why I need to go get my bucket. Thought I heard something. But, yeah, you can see it's already starting to do its thing. I just gotta be careful not to fall in, because that would be a royal pain in the arse. Alright, next section. I think the next video, I ain't gonna make a promise on this though. I think for the next video, we'll give this a test out and see how well it performs versus either a wandering horde or even a night horde. Let's see, it's day 26, so it might be 2 days before another 7-day horde comes in. Kind of interesting, or interested to see how this turns out, because okay, I'm gonna have to finagle something here, else it'll break my base. And we'll pull that one out. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, pig. Okay, so we got the outer edges of the base all good. Now let's go fetch a bucket so we can chuck it with a bucket. And there, and we'll put, don't need a pickaxe just yet. Now I do need to put in some blocks around the inner core. I am gonna give the whole gun port idea a shot. See how that works out. And because it's going to be mostly above water, I don't need to really worry myself with it too much. Now here's the thing about water. When you can't attach it to other blocks of water. But you can, yeah, you can do this. And it should spill over, just like that. Grab from the same section of water. Come on. Right. Oh, no. Doggone it. Let's see if I can get up. Get up. Come on now. Get up. This sucks. Okay. Come on. Now I'm gonna have to put a block down. Dang it. Alright, come on. Get up. Breathe. Ah. Alright. This is the one downside to building this base. That and the mosquitoes are monstrous. Alright, let's get back to the bucket. Refill the bucket. There we go. And keep this up. And not fall in. This is going to be kind of tedious, but you're kind of getting the idea of how it's working, right? I don't need to spell it out anymore, do I? Do I? Because I might cut away again, just for the sake of getting it done and not boring you to death. Unfortunately, it's going to bore me to death. And make sure it fills in. Good. I know that son-bitch wants to sting me. Yep, he's coming in to... Time to shoot. Take that. Ha 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 ha. Honey. Alright. Let's get back to work. Okay. Come on, steady now. And this whole floor has got to get covered in water, so yeah. Fill in. There we go. Now, in an earlier episode, I mentioned how water has like a seed block. See this green block? That counts as like a seed block. So it spreads out from there. Now apparently it doesn't want to go this way, because usually it does it in kind of like a cross pattern. But it could be because it's pouring over the edges and down, that it's just kind of changing that up. Not 100% sure. And it's got to fill below it before it can come to level. Come on, pour. There we go. Yep. That's how it works. Or supposed to. Okay, I'm going to cut away because this is going to take me a while, and I don't want to bore you with all the details. But you see what I got to do yet. You've seen what I've been doing so far. I mean, it's starting to get a little lighter out, but let's see if that works. Yeah, you can see the contrasting differences between having a floor of this kind of white-gray reinforced concrete versus the fertile soil or clay of the natural lake bottom. So when you got those belly crawlers coming in, you're able to see them just a little bit better. I mean, if their heads aren't poking up over the water, that is. Even when it's deeper, you can see the bottom pretty good. And, you know, that's part of the allure of this concept, is being able to see them a little better. But mainly to trap them in there so, you know, they're not moving around. You can get a good clean headshot with, even with a pistol or even with a crossbow, I imagine. I tend to stick with a sniper rifle because, again, I have to really take the frame rates in consideration. So right now it's 8 frames a second, and it'll drop down to like 6 or 7. When I'm not recording, I get even slightly better results, because like if I'm in the scope mode and not recording, I'll get about 10 frames per second. Right now I'm getting 9, and then if I take it away, it'll drop right back down to 6, 7, or 8. So you kind of get the idea. Anyway, cutting away, and we'll be right back after these non-messages. Okay, and I'm back. As you can see, it's all underwater now. Now, for some reason, it didn't want to fill in here, and that's just fine, because I'm going to be putting more blocks down in here. And I'm going to take out a chunk of the structure here for the gun port windows. But, as you can see, it's shaping up pretty good. Now, I actually fell in once, and it's a pain to get out. So if it was hard for me to get out, I imagine it's much more difficult for a zombie. At least I would hope. So yeah, as you can see, that much is done. Now I'm gonna cut away again, and when I come back, this segment should be done, and I should be on the other side. Hopefully I won't fall in again. Okay, catch you on the flip side. Okay, so now I got these 4 blocks taken out of the core, and now as you can see, that's the floor above, and I got some space underneath. This is what's keeping me from falling right now. Kind of testing out the view on this. Now what I'm thinking of doing is leaving this pillar here, this pillar here, this pillar here, this one here, and then cutting out this one, this one, this one, and this one. So it's kind of like a walk-in gun port. Now see, I'm standing up so I can't fit through that. So we just kind of crouch down. This is kind of what it would look like. You see. So I have a view from post to post all out here. There will be iron bars right there. All the wood frames, at least the ones here, will be made out of reinforced concrete. So I'm just kind of temporarily framing it up. And see, I got it boxed in, and this is going to go up to, you know, to the first floor up here. You know, so you know, like up through here. If it'll, yeah, come on. So yeah, it'll be up in here like this, but all in reinforced concrete. And each side should look like this. I'm gonna this ramp and the block I'm on, that's just a temporary thing. But you get the idea, right? Okay, so I'm going to cut away yet again. I think I'm going to have to call this the episode of 1,000 cuts. Anyways, we'll cut away again, and I will start putting in the rebar. I'm probably going to have to go and get more rebar frames. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get more frames because I'm low on short iron pipe. So, when I return, this area around here, at least this 3-block stack, will be done. And who knows, we'll have probably a bunch of zombies come in tonight. I'll have a supply drop picked up. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, see you in a little bit. Hello again. Well, as you can see, this is what it looks like from above. All the water is in. Switch weapons, go to sniper scope. And you can see right down in there. You gotta imagine the floor is gonna be out at least as far as these pillars. So everything within these pillars is gonna be able to shoot straight down from this level. Now, I was gonna go with reinforced concrete for the ground level bunker setup, but instead I decided to go with double reinforced wood for this area. And then for the gun ports themselves, these angled bits there, I went and upgraded those all the way up to sheet metal. When you look through them in just the right way, it looks pretty cool. Now I go inside and show you what it looks like, but I put in the iron bars and haven't exactly put in a ladder yet. So in another video I'll do that. But as you can see, got the gun port windows there. The zombie fly trap is complete. As long as it doesn't become a silver blade fly trap. So I could be happier, but for now this will have to do. And at least until I can get more resources. I still got to get this removed so it looks nicer. And I don't know if I'm going to go for an external ramp or just do an underground tunnel to go at least over to that point right there, and then get inside from there. That's the thing with a lot of these plans I come up with. I get them in my head, but when you put them into practice, things change. So that's part of surviving, is adapting to your circumstances, right? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, the episode of 1,000 cuts. And if you like this or any of my other videos, please comment, click like. If you don't like them, dislike them. Leave creative criticisms, if you will. Leave the destructive ones on someone else's page. And I hope this helps. See you later. Twitch.